Hey guys, Otto here from Acquisition Partner. Now today guys, in this video it's going to be slightly different to my normal tutorial and system of the procedures videos. In this video what I'm going to do is actually go through my unique mindset that I've been able to curate and deploy over the last 6 years to build the Acquisition Partner business to what it is today, which is business with a projected run rate of 1 to 3 million in annual recurring revenue. Now what I'm going to do in this video is go over specifically the components of Monk Mode that I was able to deploy. Now, if you're watching this video, you're on YouTube, so you would have already been aware of what Monk Mode is and what people have done in the past to help themselves get into that state. But what I'm going to help do in this video is actually provide a little bit more of a granular context behind how I specifically was able to do it. And it wasn't from watching other people's Monk Mode videos and copying those things like cold showers and speaking affirmations into the bathroom mirror every morning. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just minimize my face here. And I've got a simple kind of blueprint wireframe structure here to show you the kind of the 5 core psychological principles that I was able to really leverage in order to transform not only myself and my own internal state, but also my business and the revenue that we've been able to do over the last 6 years. Okay, so the first one is all around a digital detox, okay? And it's something that I kind of coined the social media fast track. And what it focuses on is the 2 psychological principles of selective focus and attention residue. Okay, so our brains struggle to handle multiple sources of information, not least at any one period of time. But by avoiding all non-essential inputs like social media consumption, I was able to harness the psychological principle of selective focus. Okay, so it's not revolutionary, but it's something that, from a kind of black and white point of view, if you can't have selective focus, then you can't channel your energy into anything that's worthwhile or worth your time in doing. Okay, so what that enabled me to do was ensure that my mental energy remained 100% on my business. Okay, so I was able to snub all lingering attention residue that would have been kind of generated from latest viral videos or YouTube or boxing contests, whatever it might be, thereby making myself more efficient and goal driven. Okay, so by harnessing selective focus first, I was able to kind of ring fence my attention residue, not let that trickle out into a load of other things in life that didn't matter to me and that weren't serving me in my personal mission and in my business too. Okay, so the second psychological principle here surrounds itself around the concept of self-perception. Okay, and specifically how you can harness self-perception to get yourself into a flow state much quicker than taking cold showers or getting up at 4 a.m. and doing morning yoga. Okay, so when we when we act in alignment with our true self, we not only build confidence, but we also find ourselves in a flow state more often. Okay, so by recognizing and embracing our natural talents. So for me, my natural talents have been the ability to find great people to help lead in my business and deploy the business mission. My natural talents are managing those individuals and getting the most out of them and inspiring those and leading them. My natural talents are also selling and influencing people, and it's one of my biggest enjoyments too, is actually meeting new people and helping to kind of sounds woo-woo and hippie and altruistic, but helping them change their lives for the better. Okay, providing them with a solution that makes their life easier or improves their life in some sort of way. And that's specifically what I'm doing with my business and what you guys will be doing with your business. Okay, so from really embracing those natural talents, what I was able to do was basically tailor my daily routine to leverage those strengths. Okay, so this strategy paved the way for efficiency and creativity, peace of mind, a reduction in anxiety, because unlike being in a full-time employed job or something like that, where you are forced to, take meetings with people you don't want to meet with or answer hundreds of emails or whatever it might be, instead of trying to push myself into a particular box and a specific way of working, I really just sat down with myself and realized that there are things that I'm not good at and there are things that I am good at, and it's going to serve me exponentially better in my business to focus on the things that I am naturally good at. Okay, so instead of trying to get incredibly good at the things I'm bad at, I want to get even better, insanely unworldly good at the things that I'm naturally talented at doing. That's how one achieves great success in any single endeavor. Okay, so past selective focus and self-perception, the next principle here that I was able to harness was the 2 principles of opportunity cost and cognitive load. Okay, so this is all regarding life's selective pruning and cutting distractions. Okay, so our minds have a limit to what they can process in totality, obviously, but also what we can actually process effectively. So cutting out activities and relationships for me that didn't add value was something that really exponentially helped me reduce my cognitive load. Okay, so when I was able to spend my time focusing on my business and cash collected and generated income, hiring, firing, whatever it might be, when I was able to focus all of my attention on those tasks at the cost of everything else in my life, the amount of stress that I had and weight on my shoulders dramatically reduced. Okay, so if you are, I don't know, struggling to pay rent, or you've got, I don't know, a mold in your house, or, you haven't got a car, or whatever it might be, if all of those things are going on in your life, they are taking energy away from energy that you can be and should be putting into your business. Okay, so that not only is adding cognitive load and stress to your day-to-day living, but there's also an opportunity cost involved there too. Okay, so if you're not using your decision-making capabilities to focus solely on solving problems in your business and, indeed for your clients, there is an opportunity cost to that. Okay, so if you're getting up and you're spending all of your time stressing and, paying bills or whatever it might be, then when it comes time for you to sit down and harness your selective focus and get down to the task at hand in your business, your mind is going to be mentally exhausted. Okay, you're going to have nothing left input wise and energy wise to actually give to your business. Okay, and without a business, it's your life as we know doesn't exist. Okay, you can't pay for the lowest run of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Okay, food, shelter, water. Okay, so it's incredibly important that you put your business first. Okay, and this leads into the fourth kind of human psychological principle here that I was able to harness. And that's all around creating a fortress of boundaries and protecting religiously your personal space. Okay, so focusing on building your assertiveness will actually help with stress reduction as well as reducing that cognitive load. Okay, so creating clear boundaries is not about shutting people out or disrespecting people or being selfish. It's really about curating and protecting your own mental space. Okay, so protecting your mental space and setting up concrete boundaries with family, clients, friends is something that I was able to do dramatically and drastically, which meant I could prevent unnecessary stress. I could maintain, laser-like clarity on what I was doing. And by being assertive in everything that I did, whether it was in my business communications or with, my family or friends, whatever it might be, really enabled me to compartmentalize my life better and actually, attribute energy to the nth degree where that energy was required. Okay, so it enabled me directly not to be spread thinly. Okay. So the last one here is really important for business. Okay, so if you'll be watching this video because you either have a business or you want to launch a business, or you're a consultant or freelancer and you want to make more money. Okay, and as a business owner, that should be your absolute priority and task at hand every single day. Okay, so you should know every time that you log into your computer or business emails, whatever it might be, you need to know cash flow wise what's coming in, what's going out. Okay, and don't get it twisted with other people preaching some sort of altruistic woo-woo top level, follow your passion and don't worry about the money, it will come. If you're running a business, you have to focus on the money. Okay, it's literally your legal and your commercial obligation to do so. And when you have staff and employees that work for you, top level woo-woo hippie stuff doesn't cut the bill. Okay, the people that work for you want to be in a state of confidence that you're going to deliver for them. Okay, and delivery in the sense of business and paying your employees comes in the form of money. Okay, so what you can do in order to switch your focus away from hiring people or building out systems or focusing on day-to-day emails and admin and favoring cash flow and money management is by leveraging the principles of instant gratification and intrinsic motivation. Okay, so these will create your business lifeline. All right, so in business we know that cash flow is king. Okay, and adopting a cash first approach for me was like, instead of replying to a load of emails that clients wanted questions answering, I actually needed to send out an invoice that a new client had asked for, and I was thinking, oh, I'll just answer these emails and then I'll create the invoice, da, 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 da. No, cut everything for the whole day, send the invoice, chase it, close it, make sure it gets paid. Okay, once that cash is in, then you can build service delivery out, then you can hire more people, then you can refine and optimize your systems, okay? And in doing this, if your focus is on the gain and, affluence and abundance on a daily basis, then you're really leveraging the principle of intrinsic motivation and instant gratification. Okay, so the more you focus on it, the better the feeling it is, the more of a dopamine hit you're going to get from making money. Okay, and that's what you want to unequivocally create mindset-wise in your business. Okay, it's going to give you the fuel to keep going. So an extra principle here is just about mental deep rest and rejuvenation. Okay, so one thing that I did was I deployed a system of passion. What I called basically passion anchoring, okay, and grounding through hobbies. So for me, and anybody watching this video, you're not going to be in a position now whether you should. What am I trying to say here? So when you're running a business and you are spread thinly, you are also going to be bombarded by external motivations and pieces of information and influences. Okay. So you won't know if you're coming or going. You might think, oh, I'm running my business and I want to start boxing and I want to, maybe I need to improve my fashion and maybe I should do this and this will help my business, okay? The more you spread yourself thinly, the harder it's going to be to obviously divert that attention directly to your business. The problem here is that oftentimes you will have a natural tendency towards certain rejuvenation activities that generally help you heal and rebuild your energy stores, okay? So for me, I'm a horseman. I've had horses my whole life. I own horses, and spending time with the horses is something that genuinely allows me to disconnect from my business and all the stress, whatever it might be, focus and be immediately in the moment, okay? I could try meditating for 4 hours a day. I could try boxing. I could try hiking, whatever it might be. But in reality, it's very easy for me to switch that button on for mental rejuvenation by really leveraging and optimizing the hobbies that I already have. Okay, so if you like to play five-a-side football or tennis, or you like to game, whatever it might be, don't explore any other opportunities that are out there. Don't see any other shiny objects as potentially a cure-all for your current sort of chaotic situation, and just double down on the hobbies that you naturally have a tendency towards right now. Okay, so that's it, guys. I want to wrap this video real quick here. I wanted to do less than 10 minutes. We're just over now, but take a deeper look at these principles of human psychology. Rewatch the video to get a better idea of how I was able to deploy these in my business. Don't be swept away with the cold shower phenomenon. Focus on what works for you. Sit with yourself and self-reflect and really analyze what it is that makes you tick, and then harness those for great success in the future. All right, guys, until the next one, we'll speak soon. Cheers.